Hello. Okay, this is going to be about gun control and what I think the little tidbits of my perspective can give perspective to this whole gun control thing. Now, there was a couple websites that I went to just to kind of to understand it a little bit, to see if it was passed or to see what was going on with it. Now, first off, I do wonder, because there's no law that says that anything can get slipped under the whole with this law of saying it's like a distraction so that other kind of things can get slipped in there. So I just wonder about that. So I wonder how this is going to affect the people that sell guns and in the interaction of when somebody who is supposed to have the insurance of it and gets in trouble. Even if they didn't know about it, even if they sold it years later, they would get in trouble. So how would that affect the people that sell guns? So this thing, I feel, is such a big, crucial thing that saying yes to having to have insurance on this one thing of guns in particular it just opens the door for other things in the same area kind of to be looked at and to be scrutinized and to be forced to have to do something to get something, because this gun control is like the whole constitutional kind of thing, and since it's a constitutional kind of thing, it's a big thing where you have to look at a lot of dynamics. And I feel that saying yes to where you have to have insurance for it is really basically opening up a whole bunch of other doors that will just be super chaotic and unnecessary. If there's more education in gun control and more efforts into that kind of stuff, instead of I guess from what I hear, it's supposed to be like a liability insurance. So from my understanding, interpreting, that's what it's kind of going to go to, in the sense of just giving, basically finding somebody to take the blame or have to pay if there's any kind of an instant of getting hurt, so the state necessarily doesn't have to do it. Now, from what I heard in one of the articles, the police are exempt from this. That doesn't make sense. The police should not be exempt from this. It's about gun control. And if you're saying that the police, the government essentially, doesn't have the same retrospect in this, then that's totally abusing their power and making it to where they are going to be able to have other laws that enforce government rule over people, which is not okay. It should be seamlessly transitioned to where the state has to be the one that pays for the police officer, or that of the officer itself has to pay for everything, because there should be a liability. If this is essentially the insurance that they're trying to get you to do is liability insurance, then why wouldn't the police have liability insurance for their guns if they accidentally fire it or something like that? It shouldn't just be this whole just focus on the citizens and their right to be able to defend themselves and that kind of stuff, because that's kind of what it comes down to. If you don't have the insurance money because you want to eat, yet you have a peace of mind, and so psychologically, emotionally, you feel healthier to have a gun, then how is it okay to not have a gun it's absolutely more hurting you in a whole bunch of ways if you don't have a gun, because you're more willing to be okay because you have that peace of mind. So what does this mean at the same time of, you know, you didn't have the money, you never reported it? Should you be grandfathered in being able to protect yourself? Like, is this, like this kind of thing, I mean, I don't think that's ever been thought about, grandfathering people under that act of, this is how they are raised, this is their core values, this is who they are. So essentially, when you being grandfathered in, you're being appreciated for who you are, you're not being denied of who you are, and you're not having to struggle in everything in regards of trying to please everybody. In the second article, or one of the articles, it says, well, shouldn't that mean that politicals or anybody has to have liability insurance for when they their law goes haywire or something like that? I think they should. Honestly, they really should. They more than enough should. If they have enough money when they can take high-class airplanes or whatnot, then they should, that state money, then they should do it. Like, simply saying, if they have enough money to pay for that first-class ticket, then they can pay for the first-class ticket. If, you know, that's state money, they should ride with the state people. They're, you know, if they're doing a great job, then, and, you know, and they're actually doing their job, and they're not, you know, then they should have no worries about getting hurt or anything like that. And, you know, airport security is already way ridiculous. I never want to fly again. I'm so glad I flew before all that happened, because I never want to fly. To go through all that, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. That's like absolutely ridiculous. And yet, all that security, and they, you know, they can go ahead and fly regular class, or coach, or whatever it's called, because it's state money. It's for the state people. It's for the citizens. So to actually know and understand what laws and stuff need to get protected and put out there, you have to be part of the people. You have to be part of the people. And if you segregate yourself from going to first class and eating all this high-mighty food, then you pay for it. If that's your, you know, you want to eat like that, then you pay for it. You don't have, I honestly, I don't think that any government person or anywhere, anyhow, if they have enough money to pay for it themselves, then they should have to pay for it. They should not get to touch any state money at all, because that state money can go to other things. And, you know, that just makes sense. I'm going to be posting possibly the articles just to make sure that they didn't change, so my references don't really change without me understanding it, and the links.